Hello, Aaron. Welcome to the month of March. How are you?
I'm doing well. Hi, Tony. Hi, everybody else. Welcome to our March podcast.
Let's get into the news for the month of February.
It's the 1 year anniversary that we filmed the baby colossal squid in the wild. I
So-
think this might have been our first or second kind of news podcast that we did.
So maybe I'll insert right here, a flashback to the.
And so you've got this amazing massive beast, and then you have these cartoonish animals, and you don't see the relation. And I think that this footage helps to fill in that blank between the two of them, because a juvenile is not necessarily a small animal in squid terms.
And that was a momentous occasion in Antarctica. What did you get from the 1 year anniversary news article about this, Aaron? What did they talk about?
Well, it does the very kind of, it covers what glass squid are. It talks about the Antarctic. It talks about colossal squid and how little that we know about them. I know that, that video caused so much excitement that I'm sure that a lot of, international research groups have thought about journeys to the Antarctic. I'm sure that there are new expeditions heading out there because of that video and because of the excitement that it caused. So, fingers crossed that we'll be getting some more awesome headlines from the Southern Ocean in coming months or years, or I mean, days might be too much to hope for, but
days might be too much to hope for, but there is an excursion happening as we speak, isn't there? I think it's actually wrapping up pretty soon.
Yeah, I think there is.
Down in Antarctica. So maybe it is sooner than later. I guess we will find out. We won't be the last to know. We won't be the first to know either. But
that's a pretty accurate summarization.
Yeah, you may be the first to know, Aaron. These are with your colleagues, Dr. Aaron Boyd Evans. So if there's a glass squid question or expertise needed, you would be consulted. But I trust that hasn't happened yet because you're not mentioning it here. Or maybe you're under an NDA and you can't do that, which would be interesting.
I'm not. I've got no secrets to share.
All right. The Octopodcast Unfiltered here, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Yes, all right. So happy anniversary to the Massanicatuthis sighting. That was very exciting last year. Who knows what 2026 has in store, but this is 1 year since then. Okay, cool. What's our second story?
Well, I will admit I'm going to be a bit biased here. Our second story is also glass squid related, but it's a little bit closer to home for the two of us. So the next article is the MBARI deep sea robot filming an adorable baby squid in Monterey Bay. Now, the reason why I thought that this was newsworthy is not for any particular reason. This is not a special sighting. We see kind of baby glass squid in Monterey Bay quite frequently, but it has caused a lot of debate on the forum, mainly because I'm indecisive. So Austin Brachiotuthis has been very good about posting sightings if he sees them before I do, which is pretty often. He's so good at finding sightings. So shout out to Brachiotuthis. Good job, man. You're doing awesome.
Him and Jeff Day. I'm gonna do a shout out for Jeff Day as well. The two of them really great about it. But yes, awesome.
Anyway, yeah. So if you about a week ago he posted this article. And he said, Jeff and I think that this is Lichia. Is that right? And I went, oh, yeah, that's definitely Lichia. And then I read through the article itself, and the people who ID'd it thought that it was a baby Galatuthis. And I went, oh, I mean, I guess it could be. I maybe. So then I watched the video, and now I think it's Lichia again. So, this is just ping-ponging back and forth. People at MBARI, I'm sorry for not being good at my job and being able to tell you what this thing is, but to my defense, baby cranchids are notoriously hard to ID in the wild. They did get some good footage of this, but when they're really small, they look really similar to each other. When I initially saw the image, I saw kind of round fins and I saw long eye stalks. And that's something that baby Lichia have kind of in extreme proportions. They have really round fins and they have really long stalked eyes. And to MBARI's credit, Galoteuthis at that age also does have slightly oval-shaped fins and eyes that are on stalks as well, but they're not quite as long. So it's really a matter of determining proportions. And in live footage like this, it's more challenging to actually get accurate representations because the animal's moving and distance and all that sort of thing. So, watching it back, I don't know if I'm going to switch back to Lychee or not. It could definitely be Galoteuthis. The eye stalks could technically be longer. The fins could be bigger. But yeah, it's so hard to tell in baby animals, and not just from the footage. Even when we have these animals in the lab, if they're small, there could be a group of us standing around the table, and we still wouldn't agree on what it is. It's just part of the joys of identifying cephalopods. Galoteuthis is commonly filmed off Monterey Bay. That's pretty normal. Lychee is not. Lychee dislocata can be found a little bit further south, more towards kind of Mexico, and further off into the ocean. Lychee dislocata, I think, was originally described from around the Hawaiian Islands. So it is in the Pacific, and I believe that Lychee dane is also kind of in that region, but I don't know how frequently they are filmed in Monterey Bay.
Gotcha.
So
slightly out of place, but
notwithstanding that, seem slightly out of place, but not super out of place.
Right. So, and that's why you think maybe it's the drifter.
So it could be a drifter. Or I could just be completely wrong, and it's Galoteuthis, and we see these all the time.
But we can walk away from that being smarter for the images and the analysis in and of itself. That's a learning in itself. So appreciate that. Okay, what else have you got for us, Aaron?
Well, I did see a headline about a movie that's going to be coming out on Netflix in the next few months. So if you've already watched My Octopus Teacher to Death, we got a new one for you on Netflix.
Yes, Remarkably Bright Creatures.
Remarkably Bright Creatures. Now, have you read the book, Tony?
I have not read the book. My sister bought it for my daughter for Christmas, and my daughter hasn't read it yet, but she strongly encouraged me to read it for all the right reasons. She's going to read it. So I put out an article about it last week with the help of Octobot, because I know that the movie's coming from Netflix. So that's going to be probably the biggest publication or the biggest Netflix release since My Octopus Teacher. So it should be a pretty big, especially starring Sally Field, who's iconic. Yeah. So yeah, it's about this giant Pacific octopus in an aquarium in Seattle. It's a fictitious aquarium. I can't remember the name that they use in the book, but it's akin to Seattle Aquarium, and it's near Puget Sound, there where giant Pacific octopuses are commonly found. And I guess the story is about a mother who lost her son, I think in some, I don't know if it was a scuba diving accident or some, I'm not sure. I don't know. I didn't read it, so I'm not sure. But it has to do with this octopus who narrates the story. And I'm sure it's a tearjerker, and it will be highly entertaining, no doubt. So what did you get from the article about it, which I also didn't read?
Well, I haven't read the book. Before your article, didn't even know this book existed. But now I want to read this book. So I'll have to make sure I get it before the next Flick show comes out, because I like to read the source material before I see the movie.
Yeah.
But you're right. I do feel like it's going to be a tearjerker. Get your Kleenexes ready. And I'm really excited to see Sally Fields on screen. That's going to be wonderful. Now, my hesitation, and I apologize for this in advance. Netflix, I'll let you know right now. As soon as I saw the image at the top of the article, my brain went to Uncanny Valley and went, that's not an octopus. They've CGI'd that. And I don't know what it is about the octopus in that image, but to me, it looks computer generated, and I can't tell why.
Well, it'll be interesting to see that movie. We'll certainly give it a review. Let's watch it.
Yeah.
Let's make a point of watching it when it comes out, and then post facto we will maybe dedicate one of our Octopodcasts to it and cover.
Yeah, I think that sounds good. And hey, I understand that in a movie where they need an octopus to do certain things, they're gonna CGI it. The octopus, right. A wild octopus or a captive octopus is not going to do everything you want when you want it to do it.
Yeah,
but
well,
yeah,
what was the I'm trying to remember the series of movies that had talking animals in it, like with Homeward Bound. Homeward Bound.
It's like, so there could be a lot of options. Tony, where are we going?
So that was pre-AI, Homeward Bound, but it delivered. Somehow the movie producers were able to get dogs and cats and, reactive type scenarios, and then, voice over the put a full movie together without the magic of CGI or AI. But we will see it, and we'll come back and give it a review.
I also stumbled across a diving encounter story, which I think is worth the read. It's written by Isabella Zadona, who is a Seattle-based marine biologist, and goes diving in the Puget Sound. Now, the reason why I enjoyed this piece so much, I think, is because I'm also from the Pacific Northwest. So the way that she describes diving off the coast of Washington and for myself, BC, really brought back a lot of nostalgia because it is a very specific type of diving encounter. There's not a lot of great visibility most of the time. She describes the sea as, beautiful emerald ocean, and yeah, it's usually kind of a bit greeny. So I really resonated with that. But anyway, her article that she's written is her own story about going diving one day and having a very close encounter with a giant Pacific octopus, and the curiosity that the two of them had while encountering each other. And then the octopus went back to its den, and she noted where it was, and over the coming weeks continued to visit that location. And over time, the octopus became a mother and laid some eggs. And so, it was kind of her describing this process of the octopus's motherhood and her taking care of the eggs. And I mean, I'm going to give spoilers on this for people that want to read through a nice short little story. She misses the hatching. The next time she comes back, the mother is deceased. And she's very disappointed about that. But she kind of finishes with, well, that's the cycle of life in the Puget Sound and in the ocean. Life is brief, life is special. And she says, I hope that all of the little baby hatchlings are out there in the ocean doing their best. And talks about, looking forward to future dives and seeing other octopuses. But, it was a really nice, very personal story about her experiences meeting a cephalopod. And there's some great photos of her dives and this mother octopus as well.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, a lot of stories and a lot of content coming from Puget Sound, not Remarkably Bright Creatures being one of them, but it does seem like there is there maybe is an uptick or something of GPO activity. I mean, there are always GPOs to find, off the coast of Washington State and Oregon. I put up something this morning from Carl Bobrow, long-time TONMO member going back to 2004 or so. But he shared some photos that were really nice, and I'll put them up on screen here. I mean, nice in air quotes because they're stranded GPOs that he's come across. I guess he's come across like 14 different GPOs in the low tide. So maybe some of them are tide pooling. I don't know. GPOs are popping up in the news quite a bit. Coincident with this Netflix video movie that's coming out in May. So I think we're going to be hearing a lot more about giant Pacific octopuses in general. But that sounds like a really cool story that you picked up from Octobot. Thanks for sharing that one, Aaron. Okay, what else we got?
Well, there's not a lot. There's a few stories that have popped up over the past month about ongoing kind of fisheries debates. And I see a headline that Mexico has just banned octopus farming because of recent reports for what the mortality rate is.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how much to say about this because I know it's an ongoing kind of international conversation. But it's always interesting to see where different countries are deciding to fall on different sides of this debate.
It's very, very hard to qualify good or bad in this area. Outside of, I mean, it's clearly good because when we think about TOMO's mission of maximizing cephalopod well-being, it's definitely a good thing to not allow the farming of cephalopods for food or anything else for that matter. They really should be, the objective here is to allow them to live and thrive on planet Earth. We cohabitate with them. The more we learn about them, the better. And I don't eat them personally. I haven't eaten a cephalopod since 2005, and I don't intend to ever eat them again. I understand they're delicious, and I get that. And I am not a vegetarian, so it's very hard for me when I get in conversations about, well, what you eat bacon.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. So it's it's hard to navigate these conversations when you get down to it. But when it comes to cephalopods, I certainly think that they are unique, but I also think pigs are unique, and so again, not a conversation I comfortably am brought into to BH. But anyway, good one. We'll continue to monitor. That's a good collection of stories, Aaron. Do you have any more?
Well, on a closing note, just something fun. We've got a story which was under culture and entertainment, and it is giant inflatable octopus to take over York City Center. I mean, I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory, but by all means, click on it. There is a picture of said giant inflatable octopus. It's at a family day event in York City. And hey, if I was a kid going to this event and I saw a giant octopus hovering over the event with its arms kind of tethering where you go in, I would be super excited. So I know that the kids are going to love it. You're right. The first time I saw those inflatable octopus arms that they kind of managed to fit in windows was at the Monterey Bay Aquarium. I think it was for the launch of their
tentacles
exhibit.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember, my gosh, I showed up and I was like, whoa, picture. And I was not the only one who was crazily taking pictures of the fake inflatable arms on the aquarium.
All right. Well, that's great, Aaron. Thank you for giving us the rundown. We'll have more. I know that you're working on some content as well, which we'll be showcasing soon here on just, like and subscribe. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to never miss an episode. Thanks for joining. We'll see you next time.
See you next time, everyone.